Imagine spending 16 years in school, only to graduate without knowing how to build wealth. Think about it for a moment. From childhood, we're told that education is the key to success. We spend years learning mathematics, science, history, geography, and literature. We memorize formulas, write examinations, and earn certificates. But after all those years, many people still struggle to manage money, escape debt, or build lasting wealth. Why? Because while schools prepare most people to earn a living, many rich families prepare their children to build wealth. That doesn't mean schools are useless. Schools provide valuable knowledge and open many doors. But there are important financial lessons that are rarely taught in classrooms. These lessons are often learned at home through conversations, observation, and real-life experience. The truth is, wealth is not built by information alone. It is built by habits, thinking, decisions, and principles practiced consistently over time. In this video, we'll explore 10 powerful lessons that many wealthy families intentionally teach their children. Lessons that can completely change the way you think about money, work, and success. Some of these lessons may challenge beliefs you've held for years. Others may explain why some families seem to build wealth generation after generation, while others struggle despite working just as hard. And make sure you stay until the very end, because the final lesson isn't just about making money. It explains how wealthy families make sure their success outlives them. It may be the most important lesson of all. Let's begin.
Welcome to Financial Destiny TV, where wealth begins in the mind. We teach you how to master money.
Lesson 1. They teach their children to own, not just earn. Most children grow up hearing one message: study hard, get good grades, find a good job. There's nothing wrong with getting an education or working for someone. Honest work is honorable, but wealthy families usually add another lesson. They teach their children that earning money is only one part of the financial journey. The bigger goal is ownership. Ownership means having something that continues to produce value even when you're not actively working. Rich families teach their children to ask a different question. Instead of asking, "How can I make more money?" they ask, "How can I own something that makes money?" This simple shift changes everything. Many wealthy parents involve their children in family businesses from a young age, not because they expect perfection, but because they want them to understand how businesses operate. The child begins to see customers, expenses, profits, marketing, negotiation, and responsibility. These lessons cannot be fully learned from a textbook. They are experienced. That's why many wealthy families encourage entrepreneurial thinking early in life. But understand this, you don't have to be born into a wealthy family to adopt this mindset. Ask yourself today, what can I begin owning instead of only working for? It could be a small business, it could be digital products, it could be investments, it could be developing a skill that creates long-term value. Ownership is often the bridge between earning income and building wealth. But ownership alone isn't enough. Many people own businesses and still struggle financially because they don't understand what truly creates wealth. And that brings us to the second lesson. Lesson 2. They teach their children the difference between assets and liabilities. One of the greatest financial lessons wealthy families pass down is surprisingly simple. Not everything that looks expensive is valuable. Many people spend years trying to look rich. Wealthy families usually spend years trying to become rich. There's a huge difference. Rich families teach children to understand the difference between an asset and a liability. An asset puts money into your pocket or increases your future financial strength. A liability takes money out of your pocket. This doesn't mean every liability is bad. You need a home, you need transportation, you need comfort. The question is whether your spending moves you closer to financial freedom or further away from it. Many people celebrate buying expensive things. Wealthy families often celebrate buying productive things. A young child in a wealthy household may hear conversations like, "Will this investment grow? How much income can this produce? What's the long-term return?" Those conversations shape the child's thinking. Eventually, they begin seeing money differently. Instead of asking, "Can I afford this?" they ask, "Will this make me financially stronger?" That one question can prevent years of poor financial decisions. Wealthy families train their children to become good managers of their financial employees. But there's another lesson that may be even more powerful because it changes how children think long before they ever earn their first income. And once you understand it, you'll begin noticing it everywhere. Lesson 3. They reward solving problems, not just getting good grades. Schools often reward the right answers, but life rewards solving the right problems. There's a difference. Imagine two students. One graduates with excellent grades but struggles to create value for other people. The other may not have perfect grades but learns how to solve real problems that people willingly pay for. Who's more likely to build wealth? In many wealthy families, children are encouraged to think creatively. If they want extra money, the answer isn't always simply given to them. Instead, parents may ask, "What problem can you solve?" Maybe it's washing cars, helping neighbors with technology, selling handmade products, tutoring younger students, creating digital designs, starting a small online business. The lesson isn't just about making money, it's about understanding where money comes from. Money follows value. The bigger the problem you solve and the more people you help, the greater your earning potential often becomes. That's why some of the world's most successful businesses became successful. They solved problems. People don't pay because someone worked hard. They pay because someone made their lives easier, faster, safer, healthier, or more enjoyable. Rich families help children understand this early. Instead of seeing money as something to chase, they learn to see it as a reward for creating value. Think about your own life. What problems do people frequently ask you to help solve? Maybe you're good at repairing electronics. Maybe you're excellent at explaining difficult topics. Maybe you're organized. Maybe you're creative. Maybe you're good with numbers. Those abilities are more than talents. They could become opportunities. And here's something fascinating. Many wealthy families don't panic when industries change. Why? Because they teach their children to become problem solvers rather than job-dependent thinkers. Technology changes, jobs disappear, economies rise and fall, but people will always pay for valuable solutions. That's a lesson worth carrying for life. Now we've covered 3 powerful lessons, but the next one explains why some families become wealthier with every generation, while others start from zero every single time. It has nothing to do with luck, it has everything to do with how they think about time. Lesson 4. They think in decades, not days. Imagine planting a mango tree today. You don't expect to eat the fruit tomorrow. You water it, you protect it, you give it time to grow. We all understand this when it comes to farming, but strangely, many people forget this principle when it comes to building wealth. One of the greatest differences between wealthy families and everyone else is how they think about time. Many people ask, "How can I make money this month?" Wealthy families often ask, "What can I build today that will benefit me 5, 10, or even 20 years from now?" That difference may sound small, but it changes almost every financial decision. When children grow up hearing conversations about long-term investments, businesses that can outlive their founders, retirement planning, and generational wealth, they naturally develop patience. They stop expecting overnight success. Instead, they begin trusting the power of consistency. This is why wealthy families teach delayed gratification. Delayed gratification simply means giving up a small pleasure today for a much greater reward tomorrow. It's one of the most powerful financial habits anyone can develop. Studies in psychology have consistently shown that people who learn to delay gratification often make better long-term decisions in many areas of life, including finances, education, and health. But patience alone doesn't create wealth. Money also needs somewhere productive to grow. And that's where the next lesson changes everything.
Lesson 5. They teach their children that money should work too. Most people spend their entire lives working for money. Wealthy families teach their children something different. They teach them that money should also have a job. Imagine hiring 10 employees and paying all of them to sit down and do absolutely nothing. It wouldn't make sense. Yet many people allow their money to do exactly that. It sits idle. Or worse, it disappears on things that lose value almost immediately. Wealthy families teach children to ask, how can this money produce more money? That question introduces them to investing. Now, investing doesn't mean gambling. It doesn't mean chasing every trending opportunity on social media, and it certainly doesn't mean believing promises of getting rich overnight. Real investing is about putting money into productive assets with the expectation that they will grow or generate income over time. It could be shares in strong companies, it could be bonds, it could be mutual funds or index funds, it could be real estate, it could even be investing in a business with a sound model. The key lesson is this: money that sits still usually loses purchasing power over time because prices tend to rise, but money invested wisely has the potential to grow. Wealthy families often introduce these ideas while their children are still young. Some help them save part of every gift they receive. Others encourage them to invest small amounts just to understand how investing works. The amount isn't the lesson, the habit is. Imagine learning at age 15 what many people don't discover until they are 50. Think of how much time would be working in your favor. Albert Einstein is often credited with calling compound interest the eighth wonder of the world, though historians debate whether he actually said it. Whether he did or not, the principle itself is very real. Compounding simply means your money earns returns, and then those returns begin earning returns too. It's like a snowball rolling downhill. It starts small, but as it keeps rolling, it gathers more snow and grows much larger. Time is what makes the difference. That's why wealthy families encourage starting early instead of waiting until life feels perfect. You don't need millions to begin building the habit of investing. You need consistency. But here's something that may surprise you. Many wealthy families believe that one resource is even more valuable than money itself. Lose money and you may earn it back. Lose this next resource and you'll never recover it. Let's talk about it.
Lesson 6. They value relationships more than transactions. If you ask many successful people what opened their biggest opportunities, you'll often hear a familiar answer. It was someone I knew. That doesn't mean success is about favoritism, it means relationships matter. Rich families understand that opportunities often travel through people. That's why they intentionally teach children how to build trust, communicate respectfully, keep promises, and treat people well. Many children are taught to greet confidently, listen carefully, maintain integrity, follow through on commitments, show gratitude. These may seem like ordinary life skills, but over time, they become valuable financial skills too. Think about it. Who would you rather do business with? Someone who is dishonest and unreliable, or someone known for honesty, competence, and consistency? The answer is obvious. Trust creates opportunity, and opportunity often creates income. Wealthy families also expose their children to different environments: business meetings, professional events, volunteer activities, community gatherings. Not because they expect children to become experts overnight, but because they want them to become comfortable speaking with different kinds of people. Confidence grows through exposure. Many opportunities never appear on job websites or social media. They come through conversations, recommendations, partnerships, friendships, mentorships. This is why successful people often say, "Your network influences your net worth." That phrase doesn't mean collecting as many contacts as possible. It means building genuine relationships based on trust and mutual value. Another lesson wealthy families teach is that your reputation travels before you do. People may forget what you said. They may even forget what you achieved, but they rarely forget how you made them feel. If people know you as honest, dependable, hardworking, and respectful, doors often begin opening that money alone cannot unlock. This also explains why wealthy families encourage children to keep learning from mentors. A good mentor can help you avoid mistakes that might otherwise take years to discover. Learning from someone else's experience is often faster and less expensive than learning every lesson through painful trial and error. So ask yourself today, who are you learning from? Who challenges you to think bigger? Who inspires you to become wiser? Sometimes one meaningful relationship can change the direction of your entire life. We've now covered 6 lessons that separate the financial thinking of many wealthy families from what is commonly taught in school. But the next lesson reveals a habit that quietly protects wealth even during difficult times. It's a principle many financially successful families practice consistently, yet millions of people completely overlook. And once you understand it, you'll never look at your income the same way again.
Lesson 7. Wealthy families live below their means, even when they can afford more. When people imagine wealthy families, they often picture luxury cars, enormous houses, and expensive vacations. While some wealthy people enjoy those things, what many people don't see is what happened before the lifestyle. Behind lasting wealth is usually years of financial discipline. One of the biggest misconceptions about wealth is that rich people spend everything they earn. In reality, many wealthy families become wealthy because they don't. They understand a simple truth. Just because you can afford something doesn't mean you should buy it. Wealthy parents teach their children to separate needs from wants. They explain that every unnecessary purchase carries an invisible cost. It's not just the money spent today, it's also the future growth that money could have created if it had been invested wisely. Imagine spending $500 on something that loses value immediately. Now imagine that same money growing steadily over many years through disciplined investing. The difference isn't just $500, it could become thousands over time. That's why wealthy families often celebrate financial discipline more than expensive purchases. They understand that freedom is built one wise decision at a time. Before making a major purchase, ask yourself, am I buying this because it improves my life or because I want to impress someone? That single question can save you from years of unnecessary financial pressure. But living below your means is only part of the equation. To stay wealthy in a changing world, you must continue growing. And that's exactly what wealthy families teach next. Lesson 8. They teach their children to never stop learning. One of the greatest investments wealthy families encourage isn't in the stock market, it's in the mind. Graduation is not the end of education, it's only the beginning. The world changes constantly. New technology emerges, industries evolve, skills become outdated. Opportunities appear where they didn't exist a few years ago. Those who continue learning often continue growing. Many wealthy families encourage their children to read regularly, attend seminars, develop new skills, ask questions, and remain curious throughout life. They don't assume that one degree is enough for the next 40 years. Instead, they teach that learning is a lifelong habit. Knowledge increases your ability to create value, and greater value often leads to greater income. But here's something even more important. Wealthy families don't just teach children to collect information, they teach them to apply what they learn. Knowledge without action changes very little. Action transforms knowledge into results. One useful idea practiced by many successful people is this: always remain teachable. The moment you believe you know everything, your growth begins to slow. The most successful people are often the most curious. They ask questions. They listen carefully. They learn from success. And they learn from failure. Because they understand that every lesson makes them stronger. Now we've reached the final 2 lessons. These may not receive much attention on social media, yet they quietly determine whether wealth lasts or disappears.
Lesson 9. They teach their children to protect wealth, not just build it. Many people know how to make money, far fewer know how to keep it. History is full of stories of athletes, entertainers, entrepreneurs, and lottery winners who earned enormous fortunes only to lose them within a few years. Why? Because creating wealth and protecting wealth require different skills. Wealthy families understand this. That's why they teach children to prepare for unexpected challenges. They encourage emergency savings, responsible investing, avoiding unnecessary debt, managing risk, planning before making major financial decisions. Imagine building a beautiful house. Would you leave the doors unlocked every night? Of course not. You would protect what you've worked so hard to build. Money deserves the same wisdom. Protection also means avoiding emotional financial decisions. Not every exciting opportunity is a good opportunity. Not every investment is suitable. Not every business idea deserves your money. Wealthy families teach patience. They ask questions. They do research. They seek advice before making significant decisions. Sometimes the smartest financial move isn't earning more, it's avoiding unnecessary losses. Remember this, making money is important, but keeping the money is wisdom. Growing money is discipline.
Lesson 10. They build a legacy, not just a lifestyle. This final lesson may be the most powerful of them all. Many people think wealth is about enjoying life today. Wealthy families often think beyond themselves. They ask, what will remain after I'm gone? Legacy isn't only about leaving money. It's about leaving wisdom, character, values, knowledge, faith, integrity, good habits, financial education. Because money without wisdom rarely lasts. That's why some families lose enormous fortunes within just a few generations. The money was transferred, but the mindset was not. Wealthy parents intentionally teach children how to earn, how to save, how to invest, how to serve, how to lead, how to manage responsibility. They understand that preparing the next generation is often more important than simply providing for them. Imagine giving someone a powerful machine without teaching them how to operate it. Sooner or later, they'll damage it. The same is true with wealth. Financial wisdom must accompany financial resources. That's why many wealthy families have regular conversations about money, not because they worship money, but because they understand that silence often creates ignorance. They teach children that wealth is a tool to solve problems, to create opportunities, to help others, to support worthy causes, to strengthen families, to leave the world better than they found it. And perhaps that's the greatest lesson of all. True wealth isn't measured only by what you own. It's measured by the positive impact your life continues to make. The encouraging news is this. You don't have to be born into a wealthy family to learn these lessons. You can begin today. Every wise financial decision you make becomes part of your family's future story. Every book you read, every skill you develop, every investment you make, every unnecessary expense you avoid, every valuable problem you solve, these are the building blocks of lasting wealth. As Proverbs 4:7 reminds us, wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom. Financial success doesn't begin with a larger bank account. It begins with wiser thinking. And Proverbs 21:20 teaches, the wise store up choice food and olive oil, but fools gulp theirs down. In other words, wise people prepare for the future instead of consuming everything they have today. Finally, remember the words of Deuteronomy 8:18. Remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you the ability to produce wealth. Notice what the verse says. God gives the ability to create wealth. That ability grows through learning, discipline, integrity, diligence, and wise stewardship. Those are qualities every one of us can begin developing. Your financial future is not determined only by where you were born. It's shaped by the principles you choose to practice from this day forward. Thank you so much for watching. If this video helped you see money from a completely different perspective, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who needs these lessons. And if you want practical, honest, and life-changing financial education every week, make sure you subscribe to Financial Destiny TV and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a lesson.
Remember, your financial destiny doesn't change overnight. It changes one wise decision at a time. I'll see you in the next video.
Your financial destiny is in your hands.